my name is Erin. I'm the owner and creative cookier behind ItsMyParty Cookies. I create homemade decorated sugar cookies for any occasion and drive-by favors. But today we're gonna go over together our cookie decorating kit. So we're gonna create little cookie houses perfect for when Santa arrives. The kits will be available at the Annapolis Town Center for pickup. And I guess we'll get started. I'll show you what's in the box, what's included in the kit, and how to decorate a couple of the cookies. So we have our Christmas DIY cookie kit. What's included inside are directions on how to prepare your icing. You have 3 toothpicks and a pack of sprinkles. And then we also have 6 house-shaped cookies that we'll be decorating together. And 3 bags of prepared royal icing. So let's get started. So you're gonna open up your packs of cookies and you can lay them out or pass them out if your family members are also working with you. And make 3 separate designs. On the cookie card, you'll see that you're going to massage the royal icing. This royal icing naturally settles, so you just wanna combine the colors so you have one uniform shade. And just massage it between your fingers. And you'll do that with each bag. So when cutting, you're just gonna take the very, very tip so that when you ice it, and I'll show you here, it's a nice, thin, smooth line. So we'll do that with all of our bags. All right, and we will get started with decorating. We'll start with the body of the house. We're going to leave a little space here for the door, and you want to start with outlining the body, and then we'll walk through filling it in together. Okay, leave that space for the door and follow the edge of the house. When you do your outline, you kind of just want to tap the tip of your bag onto the cookie, and you're going to lift the bag up slightly to let the icing fall around the edges. Okay, and then you're going to give a little more pressure. Try to hold the icing bag at the top. A little more pressure, a harder squeeze, and you'll fill in your outline. I like to work my way from the outside in, and this just helps minimize the air bubbles. You'll see that the icing kind of fills in on its own. But if you have little gaps, you'll see this right here. Around the edges, you could take your toothpick. Swipe off the edge. All right, take your toothpick and you just swirl it into place so it touches that outline. If you make a mistake, the best part about decorating cookies is that you can eat your mistakes, but just swipe it off the edge with that toothpick. All right, and we'll let this base layer dry, and we'll move on to the next cookie. All right, so between cookies, I like to massage my bags again, just as they settle. So you'll make the tip flat, pinch it, and then just roll it through your fingers. So now we're gonna do the red house, and again, you're gonna leave a space in your outline for the door. So I squeeze a little bit out so I know I have control of that icing bag. You're gonna hold right by the knot and trace the body of that house again. Okay, we'll do the door. This door is a little wider. And trace the outline again by just tapping the tip and letting the icing run. If you have a napkin on hand, which I'm sure you do, you could just wipe the tip if there's a little pearl coming at the end. All right, again, add a little more pressure and squeeze that piping bag, and you're gonna fill it in, starting from the outside and working your way in. Your flooding does not have to be perfect because you do have those toothpicks that will help guide the icing and get it into place. All right, take your toothpick and swirl. All right, and we will let that one dry. All right, so with the green, we're gonna do the same thing. Let me squeeze that tip to make it flat and massage it in your fingers. And we'll do the outline again. And trace the outer edge of the cookie. Make space for the door. And I added a little window on this design. So you could put that here on the side. Now we're gonna flood and fill it in. This one's getting a little runny, so I want to massage it again. On this cookie, you can see a little more of the difference in color. You could take your toothpick and just swirl those two shades of green together. Get all the little gaps, swirl your icing into place. All right. So all three houses are now drying, and that'll give us just enough of a finish on top to add the details. All right, so we're gonna get started on the door. You'll fill in this section, put a little line, your outline at the bottom, and follow it around that little rectangle. Go ahead and fill this one in, give it a good squeeze, and grab your toothpick and give it a good swirl to get to the outside edge. All right, and then with the red, we can also do the roof of the White House. And I decorated mine with three crescents, 3 loops on the roof on each side. So just curve your icing around to make kind of like a half circle. Okay, and now you can follow the edge of the cookie around the entire roof. I'm going to leave space for my chimney because I wanted to decorate it in a different way. So go ahead and fill that in. Start from the outside and work your way in. And then take your toothpick and fill in the holes. So while the icing is wet, you can add sprinkles on the top just as a little extra decoration. So I just pinch and sprinkle it on. If it comes off the edge of the cookie, that's okay. You could move it with your toothpick. Now we're gonna let the roof dry. Actually, we can work on the chimney. And this one I have kind of as a candy cane pattern. Outline and fill the whole thing in, and then we'll add red stripes while it's still wet. All right, we'll let this cookie dry and then we'll add details later. Okay, the red house. The same thing you did with the last door, you're just going to add that outline on the bottom, outline the rest of the square, and fill it in. So as we get to the middle of the icing bag, your icing may be a little runny, just give it another good massage. We'll do the roof. So this one I just have tiny little shingles. Loop it around and it overlaps on the house just a little bit and outline the edges. Flood your outline. This one we'll do a different candy cane pattern for the chimney. Thicker red stripes, and we'll use the green as a thin line in that candy cane. So this roof I left plain, but you are welcome to add sprinkles or decorate it as you wish. All right, so we're gonna do that same technique. Decorating cookies takes a lot of patience, but you are welcome to change the design as you wish. This house has a window, so I'm gonna outline the window just to make it stand out a little more. And let's do the roof with 2 big loops on each side. Fill it in. Right, and let that dry. All right, so now that the base layers are dry, we're gonna add the details. And on our White House, we're gonna put just a little wreath up on top. So you'll make a circle, tap and lift your bag away from the cookie to get more control of the icing. nice and steady. So you'll have your circle, and then you'll add little tiny lines on the outside. Okay, and then in the same direction, so all of my little lines are kind of diagonal in the same direction, but from the inside, you're going to make it like a little arrowhead and meet those outer lines at your circle. Then we're gonna take the red icing and add 3 little dots, like little holly dots on your wreath, and let that dry. Actually, we'll go ahead and do the door too. So I'm gonna outline the door, and because your base layer is dry, your details that we're adding now will be a little bit raised and add more texture to the cookie. All right, and 2 rectangles inside, and we'll add a little doorknob. All right, we'll let your white cookie dry and we'll move on to the next. The red house door is actually gonna be 2 doors, so put a line right in the middle of that square, split it up, and add your door details inside. And you could do these doors the same as the last, but I'm going to split it up into 4 blocks on each door. Again, when you put the details on, make sure you tap the tip of your icing bag onto the icing, onto the cookie, and then just drag the icing for those straight lines. Let's add a garland around the outer edge. Just make little dashes all around the outside of the door. Okay, and we can add a little porch light right in the middle so you don't have this big blank space on the cookie. And holly on the garland. All right, you are finished with your red house, and we'll go on to the green. All right, with the greenhouse, we're gonna finish that chimney, and this one will be a solid red. So outline and fill it in, and then we'll move on to the details. You can add a little light strand onto the roof, and we'll add sprinkles for lights. So you could just throw them on, or you can pick certain colors for the placement. It's completely up to you. And you can take your toothpick to kind of get them in the place that you want them. All right, so take that toothpick, lay them flat. And we'll do the door details. So just little squares or little boxes on the top half and on the bottom half. And then add an outline around that door just to add a little more texture. And our little Christmas tree can go right in the window. So you're gonna do an arrowhead at the top, right at the bottom, and fill in the middle. All right, and that is all. All right, guys, well, we're done decorating for now, but you have 3 other cookies in your set. You can decorate the same way or get creative with it. If you leave your cookies out to dry for 6 to 8 hours, they will be ready to enjoy, or you can eat them now, just like you ate your mistakes. I'm sure Santa would love it. If you keep your cookies in an airtight container, they'll be good for up to 7 days, so perfect for Christmas. You can also find me on Instagram at itsmypartycookies. If you tag me, I'd love to see your creations. All right, bye!